Hello, everyone. So this is the breaking news. Federal High Court sentences Nnamdi Kanu to life imprisonment. Parallel Facts is reporting that, and quite a number of newspapers are also reporting that. It says Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court has sentenced Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, to life imprisonment for terrorism-related offenses. The judgment was delivered on Thursday, 4 years after Kanu's arrest in Kenya under contentious circumstances and subsequent extradition to Nigeria. He faced 7 counts of terrorism before the court. The ruling was handed down in Kanu's absence after the IPOB leader insisted that the judgment should not be delivered on the charges brought against him by the federal government. During the proceedings, Kanu's refusal to cooperate led to the presiding judge to order security agents to remove him from the courtroom for what was described as unruly behavior. Justice Omotosho ruled that several broadcasts by Kanu via Radio Biafra constituted acts of terrorism, noting that his rhetoric and intentions were anchored in violence. The judge also highlighted Kanu's sit-at-home orders in southeastern states as acts of terrorism, emphasizing that they violated the residents' freedom of movement and that Kanu lacked the constitutional authority to impose such restrictions. The court further found that Kanu had engaged in preparatory acts of terrorism through broadcasts in which he allegedly called for the killing of police and military officers. Kanu was convicted on all 7 counts despite pleading not guilty, with the court affirming that his actions amounted to terrorism against the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Okay, that's the news that is coming out. I don't even know how to view, what to say about this, whether it's something that, it was not expected, or it's something that it's expected, or any of those. I'm still trying to just wrap my mind around it, because this thing is on a whole lot of fronts. You understand? It's on a lot of fronts. First of all, you have the issue of people who have been affected by violence in the southeast region. So you come across people, they have 2 different stands on this whole issue about Nnamdi Kanu. There are some who are like, yes, what did he do wrong? He was only asking for separation from Nigeria for his own region, and he has a right to ask for that. And there are others who feel that because of the violence that has been perpetrated, especially I think it's by the ESN, Eastern Security Network, right? And a lot of people have been killed. There are people who were killed simply because they did not adhere to the sit-at-home rule. And then there are people also who were killed by virtue of being around there, traveling, one thing or the other, whether kidnapped. Some of them in the early days when the whole, killings that were related to IPOs were being announced, sometimes they said they were saboteurs. I know there were quite a number of people then who were quite excited and happy and said, oh, it's the saboteurs that were being killed. I remember on my Twitter handle, I had to ask a question and say, who is it that decide who is a saboteur? At what end does it end? I'm like, it looks like a joke, but it's not really a joke. And then I know that some people will say, oh, this thing can never happen in the, what is happening in the north? But because people were alluding and saying, look, this is how Boko Haram started. When you see it, sometimes you hear people say that, oh, there were people who supported Boko Haram and all of that. It's because they were holding government accountable. They were saying they were fighting for the people, they were fighting against injustice and all of that. You see their act until, of course, they started, the violence that they were starting. And in fairness to everything, it was the government that started the violence first against them, killing them, arresting them, first of all, killing their leader. I just want to see what's happening with Kanu, killing their leader, arresting them. There was one killing that they did of them that their members were not wearing helmets. They were driving motorcycle, and then something when they went to go and bury their dead, they were also killed. And so that was why they had that sympathy, just like we had with IPOB. Of course, there are a lot of people who call for support for IPOB, especially when the Nigerian government were attacking innocent protesters. IPOB protesters will come and say, hey, we don't want to be part of Nigeria anymore. And the next thing, they are being killed. Like, why are you killing them? They have a right to ask for this thing. Then, as they went on, and then the killings also, some members were killed, even women. There was one time, I think, was it about 17 women, IPOB, all elderly women were arrested on protest, and they were arrested by police. And then before it was happening, there was violence being brought in, violence being asked for, like you heard, both from the radio announcements that were being made, radio broadcasts that were being made by Nnamdi Kanu, and also Simon Ekpa. That one has already been sentenced in a court in Finland, where he's serving some years in Finland, not like this one that you have, it's saying that it's a life imprisonment. And so when all of that violence started, so it not gave back to, mixed feelings. People are like, no, this is not what initially started with. No matter what is being put at you, you don't put violence there. So you have two sets of people. Like, you talk to two different sets of people. Some who are like, oh no, you need to free him. What did he do? Terrorists are out there killing people, massacring people. You've not really done anything. Why are you going after this person? And then there are others who of course, have lost loved ones due to the activities of some of the armed wing of, IPOB, and they say, hey, no, he needs to go away. He needs to be prosecuted. They need to get justice and all of that. Then the whole issue again also centers on everything that is being done. It's all about the processing. It's all about, did you do the right thing? For example, in the way that he was abducted from Kenya, some have said that it was a contentious way, and that's not something that is going to stand, because to find out that he was kidnapped, due process was not followed. Even the Kenyan government, according to some of the reports that are out there, did not even know that such a thing was being done. And so with all of these things, it's quite a mixed feeling. One of the things that I would like to do is to even see some of the reaction of people. Let me see the comments that people are making over this, and see the kind of reaction that there is. And the first one that I'm seeing here, I think maybe because this is just dropped not too long ago. It said, let it be known that the Yoruba judge sentenced an innocent Igbo man to death just for being an Igbo man. The East will never forget. I don't know whether the person didn't read it. He wasn't sentenced to death. No sentencing to death. And this is to life imprisonment. And I don't think it has anything to do with tribe at this moment. I know we tend to put everything about tribe. You can say an unjust judge decided to sentence a man who was demanding for freedom for his people to this. But I'm just trying to see some of the other comments that are out there. Let's see if we can see some more comments other than this one, because on this particular listing, sometimes the algorithm is not showing as much, whether there are other comments that people have made. Well, that's taking so much of our time, but we'll continue to discuss this as the issues develop. Thank you so much.